Today, I'm gonna show you guys how to do the easiest, simplest, one and done eyeshadow smoky eye look. So this is the end result. Really smoky, really nice, easy though. So easy. This is something you could do in like 3 minutes. I am not lying. I am telling you, it's so easy, you could do it. I know that saying smoky eye, when you think of it, it could be a little overwhelming, a little intimidating. But I'm gonna show you how to make it really easy and really doable. Even if you are scared of makeup, I promise you, you could do this. I just know it. Just stick around, hang out, and we'll just chat about nonsense as I do the rest of my face. All right, you guys know the drill. I always do my eyes first, so I just primed them with my Maybelline Color Tattoo Front Runner 24-hour blah blah blah. It's one of my favorites. I can get the name of it because the sticker came off, but it's like their light champagne color, and I just love this stuff, and it's super inexpensive and easy to find. So I got it from Ulta, if that helps. So eyes first, I figured let's do an easy one. So I'm gonna go in with my Elephant shade from Chantecaille. This is the Luminescent eye shades. It's this really gorgeous like taupey gray color. It's got a little shimmer to it. I feel like the camera doesn't do it any justice. It definitely looks a lot more beautiful in real life. And I'll show you a couple of swatches too on my hand of some similar colors because I have an issue and I love, I'm obsessed with those like shimmery taupey shades for just kind of the easiest smoky eye ever. So I'm actually gonna go in with my finger for this one and I'm just gonna bounce it on right by the lash line first. I feel like using your finger with a shimmery shade gives you like the maximum color payoff with the least amount of fallout, to be perfectly honest. So I'm just bringing that up to right below my crease. It's so pretty, I love it. I'm just deepening it up with my finger. So now I'm gonna go in with my Sonia G Jumbo Worker brush. This is what it looks like. It's a huge brush for your eyes, for your face, for pretty much whatever you want. So I'm just gonna put a little bit on there and really like work it in there. And I'm just gonna blend softly around the edges of that. And now that I have that blended, I'm just gonna go in with my finger again, tap some onto that lid. So now there's gonna be a really pretty gradation, even though it's just one shade, it's gonna have this almost ombre effect where it is darker by the lash line. And because I blended it with this brush, it just slowly gets lighter as it goes up to my crease line. And I love the way that looks. It's so pretty, so simple. We're almost there, but that is the one shade that we're using for this smoky eye. I'm just doing the same to the other eye. And even with using my finger, there's still some fallout. So honestly, one of the best tips I could give you for makeup is do your eyes first. Just do them first. It's gonna save you so much grief in the end. All right, I'm gonna go in with my Victoria Beckham Satin Kajal liner in, oh, I think this one's Espresso. I'm not sure, the color came off. It's her deepest, darkest brown that she has. There's no shimmer in it. I'm gonna line my upper waterline and my bottom waterline. So start here, and already, I don't know if you could see, but just by doing that, that gives the illusion of like a fuller, thicker lash line. Do you see the difference? It's just awesome, I love that. So now I have both upper and bottom waterline done. And this is where I feel like a lot of people could say, oh, it kind of closes your eye off. I can kind of agree with that, but my personal little like tip that I do for myself at least is I go in and I start to line a little by my lashes. I bring this down and using a creamy formula really helps with this because then we're gonna blend it out. And I'll show you how this really ends up opening the eye up, even though you have liner on. So you just smudge it out. That's why I love these also. Well, one of like the 20 reasons why I love these pencils from Victoria Beckham. You just smudge it out and it just looks gorgeous. I love all of her shades too. She's got such a great selection of shades. If you want, you could kind of wing it out a little bit. Nothing too crazy, unless you want something crazy, I don't know. Can you see how I could see how that might close off your eye with doing just the water lines? And then once you bring it down, it kind of gives this more open, almost exotic look. Like whenever I see Middle Eastern women with their eye makeup like this, it's so gorgeous. It's so stunning. It's just, everything. And now I'm just gonna line a little bit on top for now. I might go in later and make it a little thicker, but I'm just doing the thinnest little line by my lashes just to give a little fuller effect. Now I'm just gonna do the same thing on this side, blend that out with the sponge. And then I actually go in with like my ring finger and just do a little more extra smudging. I like this more, I like to use it with also using the sponge too because of my body heat. It helps really like melt it in there. Also, I mean, the eyeliner is all optional. Like this is still a great way, like still a great eyeshadow shade to use for just a one and done smoky eye. If you already have lash extensions on, or if you use a lot of mascara and you just personally don't like eyeliner, you could skip it. You don't have to do it. So I'm just blending with my finger. I'm gonna bring it out a little more on top. I am gonna thicken that up a bit. And I'm just using my finger to wing it out. You absolutely could use a brush if you want. I'm just being a little lazy. Yeah, I love that. I mean, it's just a typical lace look. If you know me, you know. So it looks crazy right now, a little Alice Cooper-ish, because I don't have anything else on my face except for skin prep and sunscreen, but that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go in next with my Natasha Denona color corrector. I use C1. I'm not gonna go too crazy with my concealer because I am going for more of like a darker eye look anyway. So I'm just gonna, oh wait, hold on. I forgot my primer. Hold on. My Kogan Dough yellow primer. So I just gotta put that on really quick. It just helps that cut down a little of the redness around my nose. It's a good way to also clean up any fallout. Also, I'm kind of all over the place. Sorry, that's just how I am. So I gotta do swatches for you guys. So this is that elephant shade from Chantecaille. I'll put that on my hand first. I'll put that right here as the first shade. So pretty. Just a gorgeous shimmery taupe. And then I'm gonna show you guys some comparisons. So this is a Charlotte Tilbury Hypnotizing Pop Shot in Smoky Quartz. And I'm just gonna put that next to it for you guys. It's definitely got a little bit more of that purpley taupe to it. So that is that darker one right there. And then I have the Patrick Ta Major Dimension Illusion Eyeshadow Duo still at the club. And I'll show you both of these. So this is the top shade. These are gorgeous, by the way. I'll put the top shade right there. So they're all like in the same color family. I clearly have a type. And then this is the bottom shade. I'll put that right there. And you could absolutely mix these two together. So that's the bottom shade right next to it. And then if you want, you could go into that top shade and use it as a topper and put it on top of that bottom shade and mix them together. And then you get this gorgeous custom shade. So that's all of them. They're so pretty, I love them. Well, hopefully this ends up looking pretty decent because I have like a dinner party to go to later. Ew, I have to socialize. Ugh. So now, for real, I'm gonna go in with the color corrector. I'm just gonna put a little bit under my eyes, the usual places right where I'm darkest, here, and up a little bit in here. And I'm gonna let that kind of set down for a little bit, just a couple of seconds. And while that is settling down, I'm just gonna wipe off that brush, and then I'm gonna go in with the Natasha Denona concealer, High Glam concealer in shade Y2, and I'm gonna put this around my nose because my nose, as you can see, gets really red, and this helps cut down on that redness with the yellow that's in it. So I'm just putting it where I get really red, and I'm gonna let that set down just a little bit. I know I look a little crazy. What else is new? So while those are both setting, I'm gonna curl my lashes really quick. So I feel like right under my eyes is dried down enough, so I'm gonna blend that out. Oh, I forgot to say, these are some BK Beauty brushes. The first one I used was their 207 brush, and this is the N16 for me to blend, cleaning up around that liner. I'm just kind of tapping it out with my finger. So yeah, I gotta go to a dinner party right after work today. And it's kind of in like the fancy part of town, so I feel so weird going. I am not getting dressed up. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to impress anybody. That's not happening. The funny thing is that they're all people that are also obsessed with dogs. So I think that at the end of the day, we'd all rather be home with our dogs anyway. But this is also kind of what we have to do to fit into society. Okay, so now I'm gonna start blending with this brush around my nose. I let it set for a good amount of time. And so I'm using this concealer as like a color corrector because it is way dark and also a little too yellow for my actual skin tone. And I'm gonna go in with my finger and tap. And it's okay that that is a little darker and more yellow because again, I was using that as the color corrector. And so now I'm gonna go in with my actual foundation shade. Oh shit, I forgot to put mascara on. I would have been so mad at myself if I forgot mascara like before I left the house. So I'm using the Polite Society one. I have been loving this, loving. Although I do have 2 mascaras on the way from Swede that I cannot wait to try out. I've heard so many good things about it, but I've been really impressed by this one. The brush is great, the formula is awesome. It really holds my curl. I haven't noticed any flaking with this formula. I'm gonna do a couple of coats of this because I want them to look a little extra dramatic with the smoky eye that we've got going on here. A little on the bottom lashes. Oh, what a difference, man. What a friggin' difference lashes make. I think I say it every time. I can't help myself. It's like, come on. It makes such a huge difference. I'll do this side now. Love it. Oh, mascara, man. All right, so now for real, I'm gonna go in with my foundation. So today I'm gonna use my Dior Forever Skin Perfect The Stick foundation in 0N. So if you're a skin twin, this happens to work out the best for me. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I had some regrets buying this at first. I was really unhappy with it. I felt like it showed all my texture. I was using brushes, applying it to my skin. I was using brushes after applying it to my skin. I used my beauty blender. I felt like nothing was working out and it just looked like absolute shit on me. And I was like envious of everyone else that was saying that it was like one of the best purchases of their year and they loved it so much. And it just was not working out for me. However, I just got this brush from Sonia G, the classic base. It is amazing, and it is just so crazy how just a brush could change everything, the entire application of a product. So it's like without this, I hated this. Now that I have this, I'm obsessed. I love this so much. It just looks so much smoother. It blends out so much better. What a difference. So I'm just gonna blend it like that into the brush. I'm not gonna apply it on my face like that. I feel like I have the best luck this way. I'm just gonna lightly apply that everywhere. Make sure I get down by my neck, by my ear, this side. It's wild how much of a difference a brush makes. Getting the right, really good quality brushes, it just changes everything, it really does. And so I've just been completely obsessed with these Sonia G brushes. They're the best quality I've ever had. I'm gonna go over my nose where I had that yellow color corrector type of a shade, neutralize that and blend it out, make it look more natural. I like to tap out around my nose. I just get a lot of texture on my nose and tapping it out with my finger works the best for me. It just gives me personally the best results. I just started up Severance season 2 with my husband. We were very patiently waiting for the whole season 2 to end so we could like start watching it and binge it. But we have not binged it and we've been just doing it little by little, and that show, man, is so unhinged. I love it. It's so crazy. I need to know what's going on with the goats. That's like my number one question, my number one curiosity. What with the goats? What is that? I need to know. All right, so now that my foundation is all applied, I am just going to go in with a damp beauty blender and just bounce around really quick. I always do that just for a super smooth finish. I just love how this really perfects the finish on my skin. All right, so now I'm gonna go in with some setting powder. All right, so I'm gonna go in with my Kosas Airy Cloud Set as my setting powder. And I know my face is looking extra pale, however, it matches my neck, and that's the biggest thing. And now I'm gonna go in after the setting powder and bring life back into it so I don't look so intensely goth. Oh, and I'm using my Sonia G Face Pro brush. I love this, so great. It's a really good multi-use brush. You could set your face with this, use it with bronzer, blush, whatever you want. And look, I know that Sonia G brushes have a hefty price tag. I get it, I know. I was not able to get them for a little while, you know what I mean? It's not like I just found out about them and was like, I'm buying all of them, you know? It was more like, you wanna wait for Beautylish, because that's where you buy them. You wanna wait for them to have a sale. So they do it like twice a year. They have this like gift card event where you, for every $100 you spend, you get a $20 gift card. So it's kind of like 20% off. And anyway, so I did that and I got my brushes that way. And you just want to be smart about it, you know? My lips are darker, like they have a darker pigmentation. So I go over around my lips with my setting powder. Ooh, she looking pale. Okay, so I have not tried this yet, but I am going to try the Chantecaille Perfect Blur Finishing Powder in medium deep. It's meant for people with darker, deeper skin tones, but I'm gonna use it as a bronzer. And so I hope that that's gonna work. I've done it with the blurring powder from Pat McGrath. I've got the shade Deep. And again, that's meant to be this translucent for deeper skin tones, a setting powder, but I love it as a bronzer because it's not super pigmented since it is supposed to be just like their darker, like a translucent shade for deeper skin tone. So it works out as a great bronzer for me. So hopefully this will too. We're about to find out. So I'm gonna go in with the same brush, the Face Pro, see how that goes. It is definitely larger and fluffier, so it might not put down enough pigment. So if it doesn't, I'll go in with another brush. And this is supposed to be very natural looking, considering it's really a setting blurring powder for a deeper skin tone. Ooh, that's nice. Ooh, I like that. It's just hard when you're pale. You don't want to look orange, you know what I mean? And so many bronzers look orange. And so this is just kind of like a little hack of mine. Just finding these like setting powders for deeper skin tones and using that as a bronzer for myself. I'm gonna put it up here a little bit, even though no one sees my forehead ever. I'm just kind of connecting it right here. You could put a little around your nose if you want. I really like that though. I think that worked out really well, actually. If you want to steal this idea, go ahead and steal it and do it if you're pale and you need a bronzer that's not going to make you look orange. There's already one orange person in America, he who must not be named. And then I'm just going to kind of blend out a little bit with my setting powder around that, just so it's not like harsh, you know what I mean? All right, so now I'm gonna go in with a little bit of blush. I'm gonna use my Crystal Slipper from RMS. It's this really gorgeous shade. I've been liking a lot of peaches lately, but I'm gonna use this today just because of the kind of taupey shade that I've got going on for the eyes. And this is so beautiful, pale friendly. I'm just putting that on my cheeks here. It's such a beautiful color. These blushes from RMS are gorgeous, love them. You can put a little by your nose if you want. So yeah, I didn't even use any contour today. I just wanted to see how that bronzer ended up looking on me. And I didn't want anything else to kind of muddy it up and get in the way. So I think it worked out really well. All right, so I am gonna go in now and use a finishing powder. And if you guys want a video on the difference between setting powders, finishing powder, when it's appropriate to use them, when's the right time to use them, things like that, just let me know in the comments. Super easy. I know things like this could be a little overwhelming, but it's simple. I promise you it's so simple. So I'm gonna go into my Hourglass Diffused Light palette that I have already hit pan on. I love it, although I've had this forever, for a really long time to be fair. So I'm gonna go in with my Sonia G buffer brush. I got the little mini Kayaki one. I don't think they had the large size. I think that's why I got this one. So I'm just gonna swirl that around and I'm just gonna buff everything out. And it just looks perfect. This is one of my favorite steps, just using finishing powder and buffing it out at the end. It just blends everything together seamlessly. I love it. I love that. And then I'm gonna go in with some highlight powder that I got from Florasis, one of those, I don't know how to say it. Gorgeous. Oh, they're so beautiful, their stuff. And I just go in with a fan brush that I got. It's this synthetic contour fan brush from Melt Cosmetics. I just love to use this for my highlight. I'm just gonna put a little bit right here, right on the top. Not too much because these are pretty pigmented, so I don't want to do too much. If you want a little bit on the tip of your nose, you can. If you want a little on your chin, you could do that. And if you want, you could even put a little under your brow. Speaking of brows, I gotta do those. So for my brows, I'm gonna go in with my MAC Genuine Aubergine pencil. I'm just gonna brush these hairs up. I really wanna get my brows microbladed again, but the girl I wanna go to that does like a very like particular style that I want, she's in Vegas. And I really like, considering when you get them microbladed, it's like a two-step process. So it's like you get them done and then you go back again in a couple of weeks and do the second part. I'm like, I can't fly out to Vegas twice in the span of like a month. I don't know. I'm extra, but I'm not that extra. Like that's a lot. I love this brow pencil color. It's such a good match for what I have right now. Yeah, it's not like no one local here does good microblading for brows. Trust me, there's amazing people. But I just want like a really specific style, a really specific type of a look for my brows, and no one here that I know of like really offers that. So, oh, the sun came out. We'll see how brief this is. It truly is like that episode of Portlandia. I'm not gonna lie, guys, Portlandia is crazily accurate. All right, now I'm gonna go in with my brow gel, the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter. Pretty much always use this. Just a simple go-to, quick and easy, reliable. What do you guys think? Should I wear my combat boots for this fancy dinner? I don't know. I can't help myself. I'm just not one of those people. Like, I cannot feel uncomfortable. And after a lifetime of like willing myself, like allowing myself to feel uncomfortable just to make other people feel better, I'm like over it. At this point in my life, I'm like, yeah, I'm done with that. If I don't feel comfortable, I'm not doing it. So I'm all about comfort now. And that's how you know I'm getting old. I mean, it's gonna really be apparent when I start wearing orthopedic shoes or something. But right now, we're gonna stick with combat boots. All right, then another thing I like to do is go in and put back my beauty marks that I have pretty much covered up with all this makeup. And so I just go in with like a little eyeliner. I use a brown one and I just put it back where it was, right there. And then just go over it with my finger. And then I have one over here too. I did not know what to do for lips today, so I might not even keep this on, this combo, but we'll see. I chose my Mob Beauty M99 lip liner, so I'll use that. And then my Makeup by Mario Midtown lipstick. So that's what that looks like. So I'll just throw that on pretty quick. They make really good products, Mob Beauty. I try to overdraw my upper lip, and what's the opposite of that? Inner draw? My bottom lip. Because I got this big ass bottom lip and it's just so unbalanced, you guys. Oh no, the sun is gone. It has left us. That was a brief appearance. It's such a great lip liner color. All right, this is the lipstick now. This is such a great formula. I always forget until I put it back on, but it's so moisturizing. That's a really good combo. I like that. Just gotta zhuzh these layers a little bit. That'll do. It'll have to. Well, thanks for hanging out with me and getting ready with me for work and then this dinner that I have to go to. I sound so horrible, this dinner that I have to go to. I am lucky that I have people that want to hang out with me and socialize, but it's like, I'm just not a people person, you know? I'm a dog person. I'd rather be hanging out with dogs. I'm just gonna have to socialize like a normal human being tonight, I guess. And I know that sounds easy, but you guys, it is not. It is not that easy. So I hope you liked this one and done smoky eyeshadow color. I love it. It's so simple, so easy. This is something you could do in like 3 minutes. So easy. Love it. I'll do a close-up and then right now I'm in natural lighting, so I'll do a natural lighting close-up for you. And that's what it looks like. And I'll close my eyes. Can you see that? I hope that's a good close-up for you guys. And then I'll do another one, but with the lights on. Honestly, I just don't know what looks better for you guys because I'm completely new to this, you know? So I'll put the lights on. Does that look better? Like when I'm editing the video, I'll see if you could see things better this way. Let me know in the comments, did you prefer just natural lighting or does this work out better with artificial lighting and natural lighting? Please let me know. I need help with these things. I don't know what I'm doing. So here's the close-up now with the artificial lighting. I hope this is slightly helpful. That way you could see what they look like. Eyes closed. Yeah, I think I like it a lot. I think it's a really, really nice look. All right, I'm gonna shut these lights off. Now, keep this in mind, okay? So lights on, lights off. So let me know, please, someone let me know what is better. All right, guys, thanks again for hanging out with me. I had fun, and I will see you next time. Take it easy.